Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Muhammad Daud. So I'm presenting my research proposal, which the challenges affecting IIUM athlete during movement control order and the way they adapt, which in the Malaysian context. So in the statement of problem of this research is we all know that COVID-19 pandemic has affecting the whole world, the whole globe, around the globe. So including Malaysia, where Malaysian government has announced the movement control order, which the closure of the recreational park, sport facilities, playground, including in public space as well as in all higher education institutions. So MCO also affect the mental health, where in this case is an athlete. So athlete will experience the condition that affect their mental health, such as uh, external sources of stress and tension due to the routine changes. So MCO also lead to the physical inactivity, which when when people cannot go outside and restricted, um, which they need to practice in social distancing and cannot exercise outside, which inability to adapt to the restriction of the physical contact may lead to the physical inactivity. So in this study, it is can be this study can contribute to the benefit for the sport activities as well as the society to consider that exercise is not necessarily outdoor to be physically active. So the data derived from this study will provide an insight into the issue of restriction on outdoor exercise during MCO or movement control order on how to overcome the problem. So the theoretical framework that will be used in the study is the Lazarus model of stress appraisal and coping. So where so in the figure in the slide that is made by myself is adopted from Lazarus model of stress appraisal and coping. So when we look at to the figure, to the mind map, it is the acknowledged stress, which we know as the MCO. So it is trigger the stressor where the proactive coping lead to the appraisal of the stressor. So when an athlete with the problem-focused coping will develop a new coping strategy, for example, to-do list or time management. Okay, for example, when a soccer player cannot play outside at the playground in the field, he might craving to play some kind of physical activity, but he unable to do that. So he need to replace a new exercise, for example, um, indoor exercise, for example, like planking, like sit up, push up, so on and so forth. And then the theoretical definition, the construct in this study is the adaptation, where the aptitude of an individual to modify his structure or behavior to respond to the new situation, where in this case is the movement control order, which we have never been um, exposed to this situation because it is new for the whole world to face this kind of problem. And then the stress, the construct, which a stressor is defined as an external influence, forces, or situation acting on individual. And the stress itself will denote to the formation of formation or changes produced in the individual due to those forces. And the research objective, generally speaking, is to explore the experience of IIUM athletes during a movement control order. And specifically is to understand the impact of movement control order on IIUM athletes in their daily routine. And the second one is to identify the challenges faced during MCO by IIUM athletes. And then the research question in the study is, what were the impact of MCO on IIUM athletes in their daily routine? And the second research question is, how did athletes adapt to overcome the challenges? So this kind of question will be guide the researcher to find the data to guide in the report, so on and so forth. And then the research design in this study is that using a qualitative design is necessary in this research because it will provide a complex textual description of of the experience of participant facing the phenomenon. For example, the MCO, and how qualitative design will provide how an athlete experience during MCO. So the sampling technique that researcher will use in this research is the purposive and snowball sampling technique, where researcher will find an initial participant and ask the participant to find another participant which fit the requirement in this research. And the last one is the procedure in this research, where a researcher will find a participant that suits with the requirement in this research using a snowball sampling technique. And the second one is the data collection, where participants will be contacted via WhatsApp or email, and researcher will ask participant to be interviewed via online platform, for example, Zoom or Meet. And then the interview session, where researcher will construct semi-structured question. And before the interview session begin, researcher will give informed consent form or verbal informed consent. This is to ensure the safety of the participant, even though qualitative design is not harmful. However, emotional, for example, the feeling that might trigger during the during the interview session might trigger and harm their feeling, for example. And this interview will be last around 20 to 40 minutes. And the last one is analyze, where the data will be recorded and will be transcribed, will be reread, so on and so forth, and it will be analyzed. So that's all from me. Thank you.